morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm jealous. I'm extremely jealous on this Monday morning. I'm extremely jealous because I don't think, well, one of the challenges of being a researcher is getting messages across. Getting debates, opening up for debates. And I think Larry Wright has been able to do that. He's getting messages across in many different ways, getting debates across in many different ways. And I'm jealous because, in a way, he's written the book that we all should have written, that we all should be writing, that we all should be, all the articles and all the questions that we all should be asking within our research. My mother asked me what I was going to do this weekend, and I said, well, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to be reading Larry Wright's book from A to Z, because I hadn't done that before. And she said she had read it, apparently, and she said, well, he taught me, he explained to me what you're doing, Laila. Now that's a quality sign. I hadn't been able to explain my type of work to my mother. Now Larry Wright was able to do that. And I asked her why. Well, because he brought a number of questions through, a number of questions on weaknesses, strengths, etc. of our time. And today he's shown us some of this, the debate that are ongoing, not only within the Muslim society, but also within our society, I think, and that's something I wanted to touch upon later. Until last week, as I said, I knew Larry Wright's book very well, because I've been using it more as, and I think my colleagues as well will agree to this, we've been using it as a reference book, as a sort of reference book that whenever there was an issue or a title or a person we'd like to get to know more about, learn more about within our field, we would look up what does Larry Wright say about Dr. Fadl, about Osama bin Laden, about Zawahiri, about all these other personalities. Reading it now from A to Z over the weekend gives incredible insights in itself. You have incredible insights into, and this was mentioned here, individual characters, the importance of personalities, of their histories, of the individual histories, the importance of the writings of Qutb, of the thinking of Abdul Azam, the history, the personal sort of grievances and history of Osama bin Laden, the Saudi Prince Turki, about the American O'Neill, and about Mullah Omar, key players in where we are today. These personalities, their strengths and their weaknesses in these personalities, I think, is what forms a lot of the debates and all the questions which we are today faced with. Their dreams and humiliation, as was said here. The anecdotes in the book are both professional and personal, and I think this gives the richness to the very stories that we hear. Also, I think the book highlights a lot of the connections between different people, meetings between different people. Maybe some of them coincidental, a lot of them not. And these connections and meetings between different people are also what we see the result of, I think, today. The book also highlights many of the internal debates going on within our society and within the Muslim society. What are legitimate targets? The question of civilians. Who are non-combatants within? How do different personalities explain what are non-combatants? What about civilians? And what should be the prime role of a movement as Al-Qaida? And this is fascinating and related to today's world in a way. You have, for instance, interesting accounts of meetings between Mullah Omar and Osama bin Laden, where in 1998 Mullah Omar wrote there can only be one ruler in Afghanistan, and he meant himself. Now later they swore an allegiance, the two of them, and the relationship was seen as mutually beneficial. Today the question arises again, I think, in the Afghan setting. What is the role of Al-Qaida in Afghanistan, and what's the role of Taliban, which has seen its strength in so many different ways? And today the question becomes, in Afghanistan, and I hope we can get back to this, does Al-Qaida need Taliban more than Taliban needs Al-Qaida? which is one of the questions which within the research we constantly ask ourselves. Fascinating also is an encounter between Pakistani ISI, the secret services of Pakistan, the many-headed, the many-headed troll, or the creature with so many different heads that nobody is able to place. Their historical role is mediating and supporting the Taliban at its very start. But the fascinating meeting in the book is explained when the ISI and Prince Turki al-Faisal go to meet Taliban. Those were days when they were used as mediators, the Saudi Arabians. Now we see this today as well. The Saudi Arabians are used again as mediators to talk to the Taliban. It's something we can learn here.